Today I want to talk about something a bit different. I guess some of you know that I've released the Odeon Nota Bene on the channel. I had some conversation with different person regarding what I'm doing in my life, basically. The fact of doing what you really want to do in life, which for many people is not the case. For me, it's partially the case, but I'm not able to live out of my passion. I'm able to live out of my skills, not my passion. The question that I got from a business partner was, what is your biggest asset or skill that you could do every day so that you can produce content quickly and efficiently? And I thought it was kind of a good question, but in the same time, my answer was that I didn't have one particular skill. I have a skill set, and it can be editing. Skating actually is a skill. Filming, editing, storytelling, writing, searching for archives. Like in Digitwix, I have to find like a lot of archives from the government or like from the NASA or whatever. And I have different channels, and one of my skills when I was basically giving the old picture was the fact that I was able to create my vision, my universe. So if I have a vision in mind, if I don't need anyone external, like a team or providers or whatever, or like material or whatever it is, then I'm able to create the storyline, I'm able to create that vision by myself, basically. And this is, I think, my biggest skill, if we can say it like that. My biggest skills, the things that I would do every day, something that you would like to do every day, for me it's skate, film and make music. But unfortunately, the only thing that pays me right now is basically skating. No, not skating, filming. And I do that for an agency from Barcelona, but even the agency knows that the projects that I do, I like them, but it will never be my passion to just film for commercial purposes. And even with them, I'm trying to introduce some formats that I actually prefer doing, not just like flyers and flyers and flyers like this. For me, there would be skate, film, music. Then there's the context. There's like to wake up surrounded by a family. It's been a very long time I'm not surrounded by a family, and having a wife and kids. For me, that's very important. I think having kids it's an important part of life. Then growing the business side of things. So it's Unlabeled, Digitwix, YouTube channels and things like this. And then inspire and motivate. It's kind of leading by example, which is something that I have to do with some people that don't want to listen, I would say, or don't have like the vision. You have to show, once everything is done, then they believe into what you were doing. But you have to almost retro-engineer everything for them. It's kind of how it works. Yeah, I wrote a text. I posted it on my stories of Instagram. And I said, I film because it forces us to keep pushing our limits. It testifies our progress, building shared memories we can replay at will. I film also because time passes by, and I want to look at my life and be able to say, I didn't waste a second. And it reminds me to live to the fullest, which I'm kind of trying to do, but it's not easy in the context I am. Right now, I'm obliged to force myself to sometimes do things, because otherwise I would not move forward at all. I would say I'm in a momentum, but it's a very difficult momentum. I film because sometimes you see potential in your peers, and showing them to the world can change their lives positively. And I totally believe that. Even if sometimes it's not always coming back to you, just the fact that you did something for others, sometimes it's very rewarding also. I film also as a way to express what I can find words for and broadcast motivation, faith and hope to the ones who forgot who they are deep inside. And that goes obviously to one of the members of my family. I also film to entertain, because life is also about having fun and let go from time to time sanely. So you don't need always to get drugs to have some fun. You can also have fun without drugs. I met then someone else. It was, it's not a doctor, it's like osteopath. After the shoot, the guy told me, he asked me a question because we were talking, and I think he felt my vibe. And he was like, are you currently doing the things that you love? And I had to be honest, I don't even think I answered anything basically. It means that he got a point somewhere, so it got stuck in my head. Yeah, there are things that I would really love to change. Unfortunately, when I needed some support from certain people, I didn't get it, and then you have a window of opportunity, and then at some point it just fades away. As they are not, I would say, impacted by that, they don't care. They can just throw you under the bus, and it doesn't really matter for them. But I'm still recovering from that, and they may have their own reasons. Maybe they were misled or whatever, I don't know. But that leads to many questions about who we actually want to be and our ceiling in life. So how much can you push basically in your life, how you live your life. And I know the limits of many projects, because if you don't have the budget, you don't have the team, you don't have the equipment, like there are so many limits that you can find. But I think creativity is one of the things that can make you break through that. Sometimes to find a new way of doing things where you don't need all that external resources. Yeah, I wish we could all be unified and all work together and things like this, but I know the motivation of one is not the motivation of others, and it's not only about the motivation itself, it's like the reason behind the motivation. Some people are just passionate by skating, others are just passionate by filming, and you have different levels of motivations for different things. But ultimately the thing is, are you currently involved into what you really want to do? That's the question of the day, basically. Are you really involved into what you really want to do in life? And that kind of comes back to the question that we ask the kids. There's at least one person asking you, so what do you want to do when you grow up? Like the usual answer is like an astronaut, like a fashion designer, like a musician, a producer, whatever it is. And for me, it always been, yeah, there was skiing, snowboarding, and then video games, a big gamer in the 90s. And then I met Gilles, basically, Boursois, who showed me the first Aux 1. And then from Aux 1, I had a vision. I was like, oh, that's kind of skis, but with the culture of skateboarding a bit, like that's kind of that blend that I like. Blading for me, that was the thing for me. In the end of the day, I just did what I wanted to do. And I think this is more the message that I have for today, more than the question. Most of the things I did, it brought me some trouble. Then I had my girlfriend at 16, but technically 15, but yeah, she broke my heart basically, but yeah, well. You always have trouble somewhere. You start to make music, it's your first beats, they suck, like everything sucks. It's just like it's really not great. But then you learn a little bit, a little more. And with skating, the luck that I had was that I started with skiing, so I already knew how to skate on ice, and I already knew how to ski. But like ski, I had my 4th star, I think, something like that, when I was a kid in the French Alps. Yeah, no, you need to give it a little bit more every day until you master the art of living, basically. I think this is the thing, is mastering the art of living. And I am not really great in some aspects of that. I take a lot of risk, basically. I live on the edge, and I realize now that I cannot afford to do that anymore. What I would say is, if you don't do what you love and you say it, and it's something that is really hurting you and you know every day, maybe it's because you have kids and you have a partner in life and they take a lot of time, maybe it's your job, maybe can be an handicap or whatever it is. Find something, at least one thing that you can do every day, even if it's 1 hour or 2 hours, but something that really makes you feel alive. Something that makes you feel that it's bigger than yourself. Like Unable Girls, I do the project, but I think it's bigger than me. Honestly, it's bigger than me. I suffered a lot for that project, and I don't stop it because Now it's the girls themselves that say, hey, I love what you do, and they like it. But if they didn't like it, I would have stopped. Like, I would have been like, okay, if it's not useful, then I stop. But the parents, the girls, are cool. So it gives me like a motivation for that specific project. There are other things I would like to do, but yeah, and I would like to skate a bit more. I will have to force myself to do that in a way that I can handle the day. I think I still have the energy. I don't think it's the age. I think it's more like the dynamic. I am right now basically coming back to a normal situation, but that's not easy. Like, there are things sometimes in life, just to live from your passion, you need to sacrifice comfort. And I've seen a video of a guy, maybe I will find it again, but it was a conversation with a guy that said, my biggest regret is that I could have been that person.
What was your name?
I'm Chris.
I regard myself, Chris, as the greatest failure that ever walked the planet Earth.
Why?
Because I am. Because I didn't achieve the very basics. I'm the could have been man. I call myself the could have been man. I could have been, right? I'm the could have been man, but I ended up with nothing. I didn't even get a life. And I tried from the age of 13, you know, and the girl I was looking at the other geezer.
Like, I could have been that person. And he never became that person. And the thing is, with Odeon Nota Bene, for example, I wanted to do the DVD Odeon Nota Bene. I was looking at VG, Video Groove, and I did what I wanted to do, basically. So that side of me is like satisfied. Then I wanted to become a music video director. I became a music video director. I filmed music videos with some good artists, but I did it. I still have done already something into the music side of things where I feel satisfied in terms of I made something that I really like, and I met some people that I really wanted to meet. On the music side, I can make beats. Like, I love making beats. I didn't spend too much time on that lately, mainly because on my new computer I don't have Logic, so I have to work on the other one, but it's disconnected. It's kind of a bit of a mess right now. I at least made, I would say, an EP, let's say 5 songs, 5 beats that I made myself, that I'm really proud of. And just that, it makes a big difference just in my mindset, because it makes me feel like I can do whatever I want to do, basically, because I made these first little steps. I mean, little steps. Sometimes it's a milestone, but now I have Unlabeled Media, Unlabeled Girls, Bleeding Spain, Blade Tube. I have another channel where it's coming, but I have so many different things, and in the same time, I know that technically the strategy on YouTube would be to have one channel and, you know, focus everything in that, but I don't see one channel that I would do everything into. That's kind of where I lose maybe the opportunity to monetize a lot on that. But that's just me sharing basically some thoughts. But for you, it should be basically asking yourself if you actually, in 2026, do what you really want to do. For me, I would say, in the conditions I am living it to the fullest. So it's kind of like the chicken and the egg. Is if you have the money, you can make content. Or if you have content, you can make money. Where do you start? I need the money to make content. So right now I'm working for an agency to make money. But it's not easy. Sometimes it's complicated. But living from your passion doesn't mean that you are comfortable. That's the thing. So unless you are very successful, then it is what it is. But I have to start the work. It's already 8:15. I will make some coffee. I never drank coffee until basically last week. And then last week I went to the supermarket and I bought myself like a coffee maker. And now the days where I have to work for the agency, then I take some coffee because I need to stay awake. I have a tendency to fall asleep easily if I'm not moving. And also I have now a stand-up desk, so I can move a bit also when I work, and it makes me also stay a bit more like awake, I would say. Think about it. Maybe if you live your life and everything's fine, don't even bother, but share whatever you want to share in the comments. For me, at 44, I see what I have to do to be able to live from my passion, but there is like a technical limitation to it, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So have a good day. Peace.